Okay, UFC Fight Night Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva is this week, and I'm excited for this entire card. Mainly just the main card. I mean, it's a fight night. We're gonna get a few shitters on the full card, but that's all right. We're getting good fight nights. We're getting low key stacked fight nights, and by stacked I mean a good main event. Because all we can hope for is not a WMMA main event for a fight night. Let's just pray that never happens again, even though it will. But anyways, a little rant. Let's just get right into this. For the first fight of the night, we got Rodrigo Senzianato versus Danilo Donchenko. This is the Ultimate Fighter finale, and to be honest, I haven't really been watching the Ultimate Fighter in like a decent bit, and I am I kind of miss it to be honest. So during the next one, I'm gonna watch that. But for this fight, I got Donchenko. I haven't seen any of his fights, but he is coming off a knockout. The other guy, he's coming off a split decision, and then Donchenko, he's a lot younger. He's 24. Senzinato is 27. So I have a tendency to root for the younger guy because he's going to be more useful to the UFC and we're going to see him longer. So yeah, I'm rooting for the 24-year-old, and I think he'll win. I think he got this in the bag. Next fight, we got Rendon versus Alice Pereira. Listen, I wanted to pick Pereira because I see her name, Pereira. Boy, let me pick you. Unless you're Michelle Pereira. If you got the last name Pereira, you're actually good. So I want to pick you. But then I see she's 19 years old and she's a female fighter and she's only 6-0. And I've seen this time and time again, especially in WMMA, where there's a young undefeated fighter versus an old fighter, who has lost before. And you think, okay, the younger fighter got this, but this isn't, men's MMA. These aren't two guys fighting where the younger guy's more explosive. This is girls fighting. None of them are explosive. So youth doesn't really matter as much as experience and skills. And yeah, I'm leaning towards Rendon. I think she wins this. She is the more experience in the cage. She's fought in the UFC before, I think. To be honest, I don't even know. But she is older. She's trained a lot longer. Alice Pereira has probably trained for 3 years. Let's be real here. And I don't really want to pick someone like that. Next fight, we got Alessandro Costa versus Alden Correa. Oh, wait. Costa is a good fighter, but I'm leaning towards Correa. Costa, he did. What was his last fight? What was his last fight? Okay, okay. He beat Kevin Boras, and Kevin Boras sucks. He fought last week. He does not throw at all. He just stays on the back foot. He's basically a heavy bag, and you're beating him. That's not really impressive. He did win by KO. And Costa, he's a decent fighter, but I'm leaning towards Alvin Correa. I'm not sure who's the favorite. If I had to guess, it should be Costa, but I think Correa will get the upset. I'm rooting for him. Correa, young fighter too, younger fighter, 27. I think he's got this. Next fight, we got Zachary Reese versus Rodriguez Dumas, the germ himself. I mean, he literally looks like a germ. Like he looks like bacteria, and I think he'll win. I think the bacteria will win. I think he will weaken Zachary Reese's immune system, and he will defeat him. So I got Dumas. Also, this is the fighter that got arrested too. The Dana White Contender Series fighter that got arrested. So I got Dumas, and Dumas, he has lost to decent fighters. While Zachary Reese has been losing to good fighters, but still, I don't value the competition he's losing to as much as Dumas. Dumas is, let's see who he's lost to. Michael Olzachek, he's good. He's beating Denis Tilunium, who's 10-10. Holy shit! Like you better be beating him. Holy. And then he's losing to Ruzibov. And Ruzibov is good. We know Ruzibov is good. I got Dumas, dude. I mean, he does look like a little piece of bacteria. So, that's scary to fight against. Next, we got Jesus Aguilar. Your name is Jesus. You better be good. Spoiler alert, he's not good. He does look like Ilya Taporia. He does not fight like him, though. He looks like Taporia. He's not too good. Just saying. But uh, and Lewis Gurul, his only loss is Odie Osborne. Odie Osborne is a good fighter. I'm rooting for Gurul. We haven't seen a lot of him, but hopefully he's good. I think it'll be Aguilar. Let's go. Next fight, Suarez versus Lemos. I'm gonna try to be quick with the prelims, but I got Lemos. Listen, Suarez, she did look good. She got fraud checked by Zhang Weili, to be honest. And when you look at her record, she hasn't fought in a lot of good fighters. Like she's fought in decent fighters, and she looked good against them. But I trust in Lamos's. I trust in her fights. Like, she has fought in good competition. We know where Lamos is at. We know Suarez got fraud checked by Zhang Weili. So I think Lamos will get this done. Next fight, Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva. Listen, I like Claudio Puelles. You know, if you recognize his name, this is the guy who got completely embarrassed by Dan Hooker. And Dan Hooker is a good fighter, don't get me wrong. But still, like, Claudio Puelles, all he did, he thought he was Ryan Hall. He just kept going for the heel hook. He kept rolling for it. He kept missing. And then he got KO'd by Teeps, which is like, really? You're getting KO'd by Teeps? We don't, like, how many people do we see get KO'd by Teeps? Like, maybe body shots, okay. Maybe if they're in a war, they get hit with some body shots and they collapse, like Khalil Roundtree, okay. But you're getting KO'd by Teeps in, like, the second round? That is bad. Saying all that, I do think he wins because Joaquim Silva is literally 13-6, and he's kind of shit. Claudio Puelles, he is a decent fighter. Like, he's losing to Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's a good. You're losing to Feresiam. Feresiam is good. I do trust in Puelles to beat Joaquim Silva, who's 36 years old, and he's 13-6. Like, if you can't beat him, just get out the UC, brother. Like, get out. Like, come on, dude. And next fight, we got Druskis Todorovic, who's 12-6 versus Jose Medina, who's 11-5. I got Jose Medina. Jose Medina, this is my breakdown. He's Mexican and he could take a punch. That's literally my breakdown. I think Jose Medina wins. They're both not good. Jose Medina is just tougher and more durable. And when you're looking at two fighters who are shit, you got to look at like any little bit of advantage one fighter has over each other. And I think Jose Medina has that clear advantage. He's just more durable. Anyways, let's get into the fights that matter a little bit more. Main card time. Santiago Luna versus Lei Quang. Listen, Luna is undefeated. He's 6-0, which is impressive. But you need to look who he's beaten. Because in his last 5 fights, guess the record of 3 of his opponents in his last 5. They're literally 0-0 after losing to Luna. They are somehow 0-0 after losing. That literally makes sense. And also his other 2 opponents are 0-1 and 0-2. So it's like in your last 5 fights, the guys you've beaten haven't won once in their entire life. Like, they're literally McDonald's employees that they pulled off the street to fight you in some random org. And I really don't value that at all. Like, that is really worrying. And the only thing he has going for him is he is really young. But I think Li Quang got it. He's not super old. He's 33, still in his prime. And he has fought guys in the UFC. Even though he has lost, he's at least fought in real fighters. I don't think Luna has fought in a real fighter in his entire life. Like, you're literally beating guys who are 0-0 when fighting you, and then still 0-0 after somehow, because they don't care enough to update their record because it's their last fight. That's how valuable your competition is, which that's really worrying if you're picking Luna. Like, come on, dude. I think he gets completely fraud checked here against Lei Quang. Next fight, we got Diego Ferreira versus Alexander Hernandez. Both of these fighters are good, and Diego Ferreira, he's a bit on the older side. Alex Hernandez, he is pretty decent. He fought really recently against Chase Hooper and KO'd him, which is good. But Chase Hooper has no striking at all. Like, he has really good grappling. Like, he has good scrambles. He has good top control. But if he can't take you down, he's kind of a victim on the feet. And Hernandez has good takedown and defense. It was a good stylistic matchup for him, to be honest. And I don't think Diego Ferreira is as good as a stylistic matchup for Alexander Hernandez. Diego is a bit old, but he's been looking good. And, he's been losing to top guys. And Hernandez, like, you're losing to Damon Jackson. Like, I just can't pick you when you're losing to him. And he's another old man too. So, like, maybe Hernandez's weakness is old men. Did he lose to Jim Miller too? He might. I don't even know. I don't even remember. Let me check. Let me see. Let me see Jim Miller. Let me see this shit. Oh, you beat Jim Miller at least. Congrats, boy. But yeah, I got Diego Ferreira. He's pretty good. I got my boy. Next is Kelvin Gastelum versus Dustin Stolfus. I got Kevin Gastelum. Listen, Kevin Gastelum, he is an obese, ugly monster. Okay, he's not ugly. He's not ugly, but he's an obese monster. Don't get me wrong. Like he's fat. Like he gets fatter every time. Like it looks like he's bulking up to heavyweight for some reason. Like I don't know why he keeps getting wider and wider. It looks like he's on stretch resolution for some reason. But still saying all that, I got Kevin Gastelum. Listen, he is decent. Like he's beating D-Rod, who's ranked. Like he has good wins, and yes, if you put him against good top guys who maybe can go on to become, a top 10 fighter, like he will lose. Like he lost to Joe Pyfer, and Joe Pyfer looked pretty bad in that fight, if I'm being honest. But still, he is fighting these top guys, and he's losing. I just think he's better than the Dustin Stolfus level. I think he's just better than that level. So Kevin Gastelum, you can shit on him. He is a decent fighter, even though he's fucking obese, and he should be a lightweight. He should be a welterweight, but still, like, how are you at middleweight? Like, but he's just obese, dude. Like, lose weight, bro. Anyways, Jared Gordon versus Rafa Garcia. I really got Jared Gordon, and I'm really confident in this pick because Jared Gordon has been looking really good, and I honestly think Jared Gordon should be fighting for a ranking. I think he should fight a ranked opponent because he fought Hasperast. I thought he won that fight, and Hasperast has been looking really good. He's on a 5-fight win streak. He's probably going to fight someone in the top 15 in his next fight, and I thought Jared Gordon clearly won that fight. I thought he clearly won. The only reason he lost was because it was in Saudi, and Hasbras is Russian, I think, or I don't even. He's not even Russian, but he's from that region, and yeah, they just gave it to Hasbras because they're corrupt as shit. And Jared Gordon is old, and I don't know. Maybe they thought people wouldn't care. I care, bro. I care about my boy Jared Gordon. He also fought Chuck Pimlet, even though Pimlet did like break his foot in that fight, and Pimlet, he's been looking really good in his last fight. So that fight has aged well. And again, he beat Hasperas. And then after losing that fight, quote unquote losing, he went on to KO Tiago Moises. So he is high level. Like he's a cut above like these unranked guys. If I'm being honest, like he is really good. And dude, let him fight for a ranking. Like, after he destroys Rafa Garcia, let him fight someone in the top 15. It doesn't matter that he's old, dude. He's beating these young guys. Let him fight someone in the ranking. Like, he deserves it. He really does deserve it. He's been getting screwed over in his last couple fights, if I'm being honest. Next fight, Rob Font versus David Martinez. I got Rob Font. Listen, Rob Font is good, and I really do think he is a test for these younger guys, but I do think he beats a lot of these younger guys. I was really excited for the Chiwiwis. What the fuck? I was really excited for Chiwiwis to fight him, but Chiwiwis pulled out. He must have been scared of Rob Font. His aura is just too much, and I think the same goes for David Martinez. I don't think he's better than Chiwiwis. He's 12-1. I mean, okay, dude, we've seen this. We've seen younger guys fight Rob Font. They get fraud check, yada yada yada. I got Rob Font, dude. He's still good. He looked really good against Kyler Phillips, and Kyler Phillips did kind of look ass since losing to Rob Font. But still, like Rob Font is good. I don't even think he's ranked right now, or he might be barely ranked. I do think he's better than these like young unranked guys. I really want to see him fight GBBs, to be honest. Like I'm sad he pulled out. That was a good co-main. That was a good co-main event. But next fight, this is the big one. This is the good one. We got Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva. Dude, I'm leaning Jean Silva, and it is a little hard. Like my mind is telling me, don't pick Jean Silva. Rufy lost. Prates, he did lose to Ian Gary. He did win since then. And Brawlo lost too in his last fight. And it's like every fighting nerd has lost besides Jean Silva in the UFC. And that makes me want to pick against him. But I can't let that sway my mind. They are all individual fighters. Even though they're part of a team, I don't think a team member losing affects Gene Silva. Like, I don't think he's going to lose because of them losing, if I'm being honest. And to be honest, I don't rate Diego Lopes. Like, Diego Lopes is a good fighter, but going into the Volk fight, I was really picking Volk to destroy Diego Lopes. I was picking him to clearly win that fight. I don't think Diego Lopes is that good. He's a marauder. He's a featherweight marauder. He has power. He has decent boxing fundamentals, and he just pushes forward, and that's a lot to win. Like, that's enough to win against a lot of these fighters, like, but you're not beating Volk. And this isn't Volk, this is Gene Silva, but still, you're not beating really talented strikers fighting like that. Like, sure, you can KO Sadiq Yusuf. Sure, you can beat Dan Ige on short notice. Sure, you can beat Brian Ortega, who literally got 50-45 in a pure striking match against Aljamain Sterling. Hey, dude, just my opinion. I think Gene Silva's a way better striker than Sterling. And we saw what Sterling did to Ortega in the third round. Dude, in the third round, Ortega was low-key pushing against Diego Lopes. Like, that was, third round. I still think Diego Lopes won that round, but, you know, the, you know, the, like, come on, dude. Ortega was looking decent in that third round, all I'm saying. And I don't want to say Diego Lopes has a habit of slowing down, even though he has done that in his last fights. He didn't do that against Volk. He did not slow down against Volk, and I do think you're as good as your last fight. So, I don't think Diego Lopes is going to slow down in this fight. Maybe he will if it's a high-paced fight. That is something to think about. We know Gene Silva has decent cardio. He has KO'd like all of his last fights, but when he found the Dana White Contender Series, he showed good cardio. Like, he was still active in the third round. So yeah, I got Gene Silva. I just think he's a way better striker. He's super like he just flows. Like, same with him and Carlos Pratas. They are really similar in that way. With Carlos Pratas and Gene Silva, they really just flow. Like, they look like they literally look like water the way they move. And I think Gene Silva is just a way more technical fighter. Like, I like Diego Lopes, but he looks so stiff. Like, he's just holding his hands up to his face and walking forward, and he'll throw a two, and he'll hit Volk. He'll throw it over his guard while Volk is backing up, and sure, you'll land that shot, but it's like, dude, he just he doesn't hook spam, but each punch he throws is just with max power, and it's why he's gassed out previously. It's why he gassed out, and he does get emotional too. Like, I don't like that. Like, he gets emotional and he'll scream for Volk to come in the center and fight him. It's like, dude, this isn't a bar fight. This is an MMA fight, and Gene Silva has really good footwork. He has good movement, and I see Diego Lopes getting frustrated and swinging hard, and I see him gassing out in the later rounds, to be honest. If he swings hard like he has previously, and if he tries to knock out Gene Silva early, I see him gassing out, and yeah, I just don't like how stiff Diego Lopes is. I don't really rate him as a striker. He is decent. Like a lot of the guys he's beaten, they weren't the best strikers. Danny is a good striker. He did take down short notice, to be fair. Ortega isn't a good striker. Like, you can beat him if you have power, and if you're not complete shit. You don't even have to have power. We saw Sterling 50-45 him with a jab, basically. Like, literally 50-45 them with a jab and like two spinning elbows. So that win isn't aging well. We saw what Volk did, and Volk did look good. He didn't look old. He looked fast. But still, I think Gene Silva's even faster than Volk. And I think he's like just as technical as Volk. And he has more power than Volk. And I think he's just a more dangerous striker. And we saw Diego Lopes being open against Volk. We saw Volk hitting him with nasty counters because Diego Lopes leaves himself wide open because he swings with reckless abandonment. He leaves himself wide open. He'll throw an uppercut and he'll punch past Volk because he throws so wide. Like, every punch is to knock you out. And I don't think you're gonna outstrike someone as good as Gene Silva with that game plan. Like, I don't think you can do that. You can be someone stationary like Ortega, who's literally going to walk forward or walk backwards. You're not going to beat Gene Silva, he's moving left, he's moving right, he's moving front, he's moving back. He's dancing, he's styling on you, boy. He's moving all over the place. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to find Gene Silva. I don't think he's going to be able to find him. I don't think he's going to be able to hit him because Gene Silva's footwork is too good. And I think he just completely outstrikes Diego Lopes. I think he completely outstrikes him. I'm going with Gene Silva for this main event prediction, for this full card prediction. I think Gene Silva got this, and I think he'll fight Volk. I really hope he wins, because listen, Leron Murphy, nice KO. I do want Gene Silva to fight for the belt. Like, I like Volk, but I'm sorry, dude. I'm not really interested in Leron Murphy fighting for the belt. So Gene Silva, please KO Lopes in like the third round so we can get you fighting Volk. That fight would be massive.